Let's get right into it. Number 8. Asking stupid questions. You've probably been in a meeting or classroom where someone raises their hand and asks, "Wait, what does that mean?" And everyone else does a synchronized eye roll so hard it could power a wind farm. The problem? That person might actually be the smartest one in the room. Here's the thing, asking questions, especially ones that seem obvious, takes guts. Your brain could just sit quietly, nodding like a bobblehead, pretending you understand everything while secretly planning dinner, but instead, it decides, nope, let's clarify before we waste 3 hours heading in the wrong direction. And yet, the world's knee-jerk reaction is to label that as clueless. In reality, it's a sign of metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. It's the mental version of checking the map before you hike into the wilderness instead of just yelling, "I'm sure it's this way," and walking straight into a swamp. People who ask questions tend to process information deeply, challenge assumptions, and spot gaps others miss. Unfortunately, society loves the illusion of competence more than actual competence, so while everyone else nods along to a bad plan, the dumb question asker is the one quietly preventing the group from launching a $3 million disaster, which is, kinda important, but hey, sure, let's keep mocking them. That way we can all enjoy another episode of Why Did This Project Fail? Basically, asking stupid questions is like having a GPS. People laugh until they're lost. Number 7. Taking a long time to answer. You ask someone a question, and instead of firing back instantly like a game show contestant, they pause. They stare off for a second. Maybe they frown. Maybe they even say, and you immediately think, wow, they must not know. But nope. What's actually happening is their brain is doing that beautiful, slow burn calculation, making sure the answer isn't a hot mess. They're not just grabbing the first thought that flaps into their head like a confused pigeon. They're sifting through data, weighing different angles, maybe even translating complex ideas into something you'll understand without needing an encyclopedia. Research actually backs this up. People who take longer to respond are often engaging in deliberative thinking, which is linked to better decision-making. Basically, it's like their brain is cooking a gourmet meal while everyone else is microwaving instant noodles. The sad part? Our fast-paced world rewards speed over depth. So the person who blurts out a wrong answer immediately looks confident, while the person who actually got it right after thinking looks like they struggled. It's like giving a gold medal to the runner who sprinted in the wrong direction. So the next time someone takes a few extra seconds before answering you, don't assume they're slow. They're just making sure their answer doesn't make them, or you, look like an idiot. Number 6. Admitting you don't know. Ah yes, the 3 scariest words in the human language. I don't know. People avoid them like they're saying, "I'm secretly an alien," or "I enjoy pineapple on pizza," in public, because heaven forbid you admit you're not an omniscient brain deity. But here's the plot twist. Truly intelligent people love saying, "I don't know," because it's honest, humble, and opens the door to actually learning something new. Pretending you know everything just shuts down curiosity and makes you the intellectual equivalent of an expired jar of mayonnaise. Technically there, but not useful. Psychologists call this intellectual humility, and it's strongly linked to better problem-solving and creativity. The person who admits they don't know is basically saying, "Great, now let's go find out." Meanwhile, the know-it-all is digging themselves deeper into the pit of wrong answers and bad takes. Sadly, many people see admitting ignorance as weakness, when it's actually just skipping the ego trip and going straight to the knowledge buffet. So yeah, the next time you hear someone say, "I don't know," don't assume they're clueless. Assume they're about to get smarter. Number 5. Changing your mind. In some circles, changing your mind is basically treated like confessing to a felony. Wait, last year you said the opposite, which means you're a hypocrite. No, Brenda, it means they got new information. That's called updating your beliefs, not committing treason against your former self. The truth is, smart people treat their opinions like software. You patch the bugs, install updates, and delete the old broken code. Rigid thinkers, on the other hand, run Windows 95 in their brain and wonder why everything's slow and on fire. Psychologically, this is linked to cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt your thinking when new evidence appears. That's not weakness, it's an evolutionary superpower. Imagine early humans who never changed their minds. Sure, berries killed Bob, but I've always eaten them. So, yeah, extinction buffet, table for one. The sad part, in public debates, changing your stance often gets painted as flip-flopping, as if clinging to wrong ideas is somehow a sign of strength. It's not. It's just stubbornness wrapped in pride, gift wrapped in delusion. So the next time you see someone adjust their position, don't assume they're inconsistent. Assume they're smart enough to evolve while the rest of us are still yelling about how VHS is totally going to make a comeback. Number 3. Talking to yourself. Picture someone walking down the street muttering to themselves. Your brain probably whispers, "Unhinged." But here's the fun part. Self-talk is basically like having an on-demand life coach in your head, and it's a hallmark of high-level thinking. When you talk to yourself, you're externalizing your thoughts, which helps you process complex problems, regulate emotions, and remember things better. It's called self-directed speech, and it's been linked to improved focus and problem solving. Ever try assembling IKEA furniture in total silence? Exactly. Without muttering, okay, this part goes here. Wait, no, that's upside down. You'd have a lopsided bookshelf and a mild existential crisis. But here's the catch. Because it looks weird, people assume it's a sign of being off. In reality, it's like opening a dialogue with your own brain, except you can't get ghosted. So if you catch yourself whispering through a to-do list or talking out a decision, congratulations. You're not losing it. You're literally thinking out loud, and your brain loves it. Number 2, daydreaming. You're staring out the window in a meeting, not hearing a single word about quarterly projections. Someone taps your arm and says, "Earth to your name," as if you were committing a crime. But here's the thing. Your brain wasn't idle, it was busy. Daydreaming is basically mental teleportation. Your mind is wandering through scenarios, solving problems, and making connections in the background while your body just sits there. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, and it's like a creative engine running on autopilot. Some of the world's greatest ideas popped up during wasted moments, Einstein imagining riding alongside a beam of light, or Paul McCartney literally dreaming the melody for Yesterday. Meanwhile, people who never daydream just stay trapped in the prison of the present moment, doomed to only think about the email they're writing. Of course, to others, you just look spaced out. And yes, if you spend 80% of your workday daydreaming about being a Viking space pirate, maybe it's slightly unproductive, but in moderation, daydreaming is your brain's secret lab, the place where insights and creativity sneak in when you're not trying so hard. So next time someone tells you to stop zoning out, tell them you're literally engaging in advanced neural synthesis. Then go back to planning that Viking space pirate novel. Number 1, overexplaining. You get asked a simple question. Hey, how does this work? And suddenly you're 5 minutes deep into an enthusiastic breakdown with diagrams, metaphors, and a brief history lesson. The other person's eyes glaze over, and you can practically hear them thinking, wow, they're really overcomplicating this. But what's really happening is that your brain is wired to give context. You don't want to just answer. You want to make sure the other person actually understands, avoids pitfalls, and can handle follow-up questions without spiraling into chaos. This is called elaborative processing, and it's linked to deep understanding and stronger memory retention. Teachers use it, scientists use it, and yes, even the annoying coworker who explains how to print a PDF is doing it out of genuine mental thoroughness. Unfortunately, in casual conversation, that kind of detail can look like overcompensating or showing off, which is ironic, because the alternative, giving a vague, incomplete answer, is usually what actually makes someone look clueless. So, next time you see someone give a long, thoughtful answer to a short question, don't roll your eyes. They're not padding their word count, they're making sure you leave with the full picture.